Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video, I will be covering a number of topics tonight. But specifically, I wanted to get this one on out of the way. This is the main topic of tonight's video. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. Unfortunately, earlier today, a few hours ago, we received an official statement from Universal Studios regarding their upcoming film Bride of Frankenstein, to be directed by Bill Condon, who recently directed Beauty and the Beast, and to star Javier Bardem, who will play the monster. And then for the longest time, The Bride was unannounced and will continue to go unannounced because unfortunately Bride of Frankenstein has been taken off of its release date schedule. Shoot. That's very, very disappointing. I was personally looking forward to it as one of the many films that were going to be coming out in 2019. You know, they were going to start filming it fairly soon. I believe they're going to start filming it this coming February, and then the film would come out in February of 2019. But unfortunately, Universal Studios has decided to postpone releasing or filming or releasing Bride of Frankenstein. It seems that they are starting to rethink and re-strategize. I can't talk. They're starting to rethink and look at their strategy for their shared cinematic universe known as the Dark Universe. Of course, as we all know, that the Dark Universe kind of got off to a rocky start with this summer's The Mummy, which I personally enjoyed very much. Obviously, it didn't fly with everybody, and it probably did not make as much money or get the critical praise that Universal wanted it to have. So perhaps because of the backlash due to The Mummy, they're starting to rethink their strategy of how to handle these classic monsters and how to make an interconnected universe work all together. So I've got the official statement right here in front of me from Universal. This is what the studio had to say about it. After thoughtful consideration, Universal Pictures and director Bill Condon have decided to postpone Bride of Frankenstein. None of us want to move too quickly to meet a release date when we know this special movie needs more time to come together. Bill is a director whose enormous talent has been proven time and again, and we all look forward to continuing to work on this film together. So it sounds like they still intend on making this movie, unfortunately, just not anytime soon. This is by no means their way of saying we're completely scrapping the Dark Universe and all our plans we had for more monster movies. This just means that they've hit the pause button and they're going to postpone it for now. But eventually, Bride of Frankenstein will hit theaters, most likely in the next couple of years. It sounds like they want to make sure they go over a nice comb, they do a proper polish of the script. They make sure it's up to their standards and that they deliver a genuinely good, entertaining movie. And I think Bill Condon recently remarked that what will separate Bride of Frankenstein from The Mummy is that it will be its own standalone film that isn't going to worry about being the start of a shared cinematic universe. Like, there might be a little mention or glimpse of a bigger world, but it's going to be primarily a Bride of Frankenstein film featuring the monster and, of course, his bride. So, as disappointing as it is to hear that Bride of Frankenstein will no longer be released on February 14th, 2019, at least the movie hasn't been scrapped altogether. The plans have just been put on hold for now. And you know what? If that means that they want to do their best to give us a good, high-quality film, then I'm all for it. We certainly we don't want any movie studio to rush into anything. We've seen it happen before with other studios that try to rush into a cinematic universe. Now they're taking their foot off the gas and they're starting to realize, let's make sure we're going to do this right. So it's a bit disappointing, but you know what? If it means for a better movie, then I'm all for it. Plus, there are plenty of other films to look forward to for the remainder of this year and 2018. And before we know it, Bride of Frankenstein will be here in another couple years. Moving on in other movie news, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, the sequel to 2014's Godzilla, recently wrapped filming. They have wrapped principal photography as released by director Michael Dougherty via Twitter, thanking the cast and crew for an excellent shoot. And the film has now moved into what I'm sure is going to be a long and lengthy post-production, which is going to include obviously adding all of the special effects, because a movie of that big of scale that's going to feature Godzilla, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and Mothra all fighting each other, that's going to take a very, very long time to finalize, because the movie doesn't come out till March of 2019, but now they've got the rest of this year and all of 2018 to work on post-production and special effects. So that's pretty exciting. And what's even more exciting is that because they've wrapped filming, we will probably get a juicy trailer at next year's Comic-Con. So another reason to look forward to Comic-Con. Also in movie news, it's been announced recently, although it's a bit hard to tell if it's been officially confirmed or not, but two actresses have been connected to the upcoming Venom movie. Michelle Williams and Jenny Slate have both been somewhat unofficially confirmed for the film. Perhaps they're still in talks or negotiations to officially join the movie, but it's nice to know that movie is picking up traction and moving along, and I believe filming is supposed to begin this month at some point. With filming starting in New York and then moving to Atlanta at some point or something like that. So this Venom is still happening, and Michelle Williams and Jenny Slate, both of them or either one of them are set to appear in the film as well. In other news, unfortunately, Spike TV has announced recently that The Mist has been canceled and we will not be getting a second season, which is honestly not that surprising, but still a little disappointing, because I kind of would have liked to have seen a continuation of this story, because of the last couple episodes of season 1 were getting really intense and really good, but obviously there wasn't enough there for Spike TV standards and perhaps the viewers' standards as well. So unfortunately, no season 2 for The Mist. But it was nice while it lasted, right guys? And now moving on to something a bit more positive, we got a juicy little 7-second teaser trailer earlier today for Pacific Rim Uprising, with the full-length trailer debuting tomorrow at New York Comic-Con, and I'm sure within minutes of airing there, it will be debuted online officially. And then recently released, we have here the synopsis for the film as well. Allow me to read it out loud to you guys. And for those of you who don't want to know anything about this movie or to avoid potential spoilers, you may want to plug your ears for the next couple minutes or so. The globe-spanning conflict between otherworldly monsters of mass destruction and the human-piloted super machines built to vanquish them was only a prelude to the all-out assault on humanity in Pacific Rim Uprising. John Boyega stars as the rebellious Jake Pentecost, a once promising Jaeger pilot whose legendary father gave his life to secure humanity's victory against the monstrous kaiju. Jake has since abandoned his training only to become caught up in a criminal underworld. But when an even more unstoppable threat is unleashed to tear through our cities and bring the world to its knees, he is given one last chance to live up to his father's legacy by his estranged sister Mako Mori, who is leading a brave new generation of pilots that have grown up in the shadow of war. As they seek justice for the fallen, their only hope is to unite together in a global uprising against the forces of extinction. That is a very exciting, very promising plot synopsis for Pacific Rim Uprising. And I'm sure the trailer is going to be just as awesome and as titillating when it debuts tomorrow at New York Comic Con. So that is very, very exciting stuff. I mean, this is just an exciting time to be a nerd overall. I mean, it's unfortunate with news like The Mist being canceled after one season and Bride of Frankenstein being delayed for quite a while until they decide to make it right. But at least we've got more promising, positive stories like the Pacific Rim Uprising trailer debuting tomorrow, and then Godzilla 2 wrapping filming and is now entering post production. So we'll probably get an awesome trailer at Comic-Con next year. And the Venom movie is gaining some traction as well. So it's pretty promising stuff. You got to take the good with the bad. I'm just grateful that they haven't canceled Bride of Frankenstein in the Dark Universe altogether. That would have been very disappointing as a big Universal monster fan. I've always wanted to see a shared universe of these monsters interacting with one another, as you guys know. And if delaying the movie's release date by a year or a few years or so means that's what it's going to take to make it happen, then I'm all for it. If it means for a better quality product and a genuinely good movie, then by all means, take as much time as you need. And like I said, there is so much more to look forward to that we won't have to wait long before Bride of Frankenstein will be with us. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another movie news edition video here on the EdWord. Were there any topics that I covered tonight that you guys felt strongly about or not so strongly about? Is there anything you're looking forward to, or what are your thoughts on any of the topics I've covered tonight? Please feel free to sound off down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you guys. And once again, please continue to leave comments and feedback. You guys have been doing an awesome job lately with that. I thank you and love you for it. And don't forget to stay subscribed to this channel for more movie news and updates and announcements regarding the world of film and television, and for any of the topics I've covered in tonight's video. Have a great rest of the night, everybody. Don't forget, Pacific Rim Uprising trailer officially debuts tomorrow from New York Comic-Con. Don't miss it, and I'll be sure to give you guys a reaction video once I've seen it. Have a great rest of the night, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.